Now, this is on your screen is a Power BI. We call it Power BI. And Power BI is also known as the power of business intelligence. The BI then is business intelligence. Now, what is the main purpose of a Power BI? Now, on your screen is the data that I was just given. I was given the data of recent, and I was told to bring out a sales analysis on it. I mean, no, this is my rough work actually, because I'm not done with what I was seeing or what I saw rather on the data they sent to me. Now, but in the long run, this is a more like a dashboard, a very, very simplified dashboard, because I was still working on the thing. Because I like to do my work roughly and do many example experiment, then pick the best. If you can see on the screen, I have duplicates of page one. I have page one already. I have page one and duplicate page one. So you know that there's a lot of work I want to do there. Now, what am I saying is this? Power BI helps you to visualize what you have done so far. Now, at this point, you can easily write story about your data sent to you. This data was sent from the UK's e-commerce for analysts to analyze and give them different kind of reports. In the long run, you're all going to be meeting ourselves at the words at the Coliblock, because I'm an economist. They says by month, they say trend by month. You can find it there and see that. From here, the company knows the number of customers they have throughout the year, number of products they sold, they have, that quantity they sold. Now, even from just look at the data set, look at what visualization is doing. If you look at the data, let me show you the table view. Sorry, if you are just a novice on what Power BI is, I will try to, because now look at this. This is the table. This table contains 538,350 rows. And it will be difficult for you to find everything, to jog yourself around it. There's a lot of work that have been done here. There's what we call data cleaning process. I've data cleaned it. Then when you data clean it, because the data cannot be so small that it will give you this report that I give you now. So now with this alone, you can easily the company can easily make what conclusion of that, so of everything they have done so far over the years. And that is where it brought me to what we call page two of my work. Now, this is where I do a called recommendation and what I found. And I said, given the data showing November highest sales at this social amount and lowest sales at February, representing 12% of total sales, strategic recommendation to him to over. So you can see, company as a data analyst, I'm able to give them what I observed based on the data set they gave me. And what helped me solely on this was because of this visualization I got in from the data set they sent. Now, so in the long run, as you be coming for the new people inside, for the new person, for those who are just coming to data world, analyst world, you are expected to be exclusive with any data set they give you. This company is a e-commerce. They want to know what happened so far over the year from January to December 2023. And this is what you can see. With this, you have helped them to bring out many things. From here, this is transaction by product. They sold more of what? More of cream. They sold more of what? Of cream hanging heart. More. Why? You can see, if you look at the product name, the customer that bought most is there. He made a transaction of 2,217, which is 451,769 of the sum of sales so far. So this is telling you that this customer of number 18283 is the best customer so far of the year. Now the company can take from this place and reward the customer for what? For patronage over the years. So with this picture, with this visualization alone, you have helped the company to realize the first best customer they have, because the first best customer they have is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can see that the customer who is buying most is C182, who is buying more of the transactions, is making a lot of transactions. So this is saying that the company can take this and say, all right, we've seen the customer that we are looking for. Then they might want to reward this customer with some things and so on. And they want to know which customer is contributing more to the sales, because sales represent the revenue, profitability of the company. Yes. All right. So as I was saying, this is a Power BI section. And anything you are doing here, we are adjusting to everything. If I click on this, the creaming part, if I click on the creaming part, you see, there's an adjustment already. So it's definitely showing that one customer or 18283 purchased the majority of what? The creamy hanging heart t-shirt holder is the most purchased customer. And now something happened to him. If you check it, in February, March, April, there was an increment in his purchase. Look at it. He falls back again in June. So from here, analysis can be done in different way about the customer. But in the long run, is it the best customer for the what? For the company so far? How does he achieve that? That is where analysis come from. All of this is done based on what's it called? So we look at my page 1. This is my page 1. This is what I'm planning to submit for them. And this is how my page 1 looks like. Because at everything I'm doing here, I'm trying to look at the write-ups at this point, and I put them in what? In conclusion. So Power BI, this is what Power BI do most. That's why it's called Power BI. Power BI is for data visualization. For those who are just joining us, I'm just trying to show that. Forget the fact that you can also use what's it called? You can also use Excel to do these things. You can also use Excel to do it. But the best you can use, we have Power BI, we have Tableau. Power BI is good as well as Tableau. The only difference between Power BI and Tableau is Tableau can collect much more larger data sets. And so as Power BI. Power BI can also do that. But Tableau can do is best for much more larger, because like companies that have over billion of data sets, over million of data sets would like to go with Tableau and probably use Python for possibilities for easy work. Now, this is a Power BI section, which if you look at this, let me even teach you how to load data sets into Power BI. some people can, I know some people are very, they are good at this point and stuff like that. But for the benefit of those who are not, can just look at a little bit of uploading, putting the data set into it, and how does, because some people, you just made this on the screen. You feel like, how do you get about how do you do this? How do you find this? All right. Then, for instance, you want to bring out the data set from, you can do it in 2 ways. It's on your screen already. Say get data. This is something on the screen. You say get data. Now, if I click on the drop down, there are many options. We have the command separate version, we have the CSV, we have the SQL server, and many more. So I'm picking from a Excel workbook. Now I'm picking from a Excel workbook. Let me just pick. Let me click the employee attrition. Now it's coming through. Now it's coming through. Waiting. Now it's coming. So when you are uploading anything on Power BI, it has come. This is XLX. That's a Z format. You what? You mark this box. You check the box. Now it's showing you what you have. Now, on conditions, as a data analyst rather, you must not just load the data. You must be sure that the data is 100% free from error and is ready for analysis. So be very sure if the data set is free from error and is ready for analysis. So for you to do that, you transform data first. Go to transform of the data set. Hello, can you hear me, please? Let me know if I'm talking to people already. Can you hear me? Can anyone hear me, please?
We can hear you.
All right, thank you.
Yes, we can hear you.
All right, thank you so much. Now, at every point in time, when you are as a data analyst, first condition is transform the data first. Even though they told you the data is right, just go and just help us to visualize it. Give us, you want to check something, you want to give us something. In anything you are doing, first of all, you do what? When you are getting data from Excel into your Power BI or doing visualization, even though you are using Power Query, the Power Query on Excel, it is sent as a Power Query on Power BI. They are doing the same job. But the only difference there is that Power BI offer more options when it comes to adjustment, data cleaning, and so on. Now, look at it now. I've done what? I've get data here, which is the data set is called employee attrition. Now, this is the data set. Now, if you know, just be looking at this thing at the top here. As I click here, we have 100% valid. Employee ID said is 100% valid. Is 0% error. Is 0% empty. That's the condition of your variables. At every of your column must carry this information. And information was that any point you find there's a 1% error or 1% empty, that means a blank cell or a blank space. You don't need to put a blank space when you are doing analysis, because when you put a blank space, it will cause so-called biasness. Biasness in your words analysis. So that's more reason I enable my data quality. My data quality is what makes this thing available. You see that at every point here, the data set has been cleaned before I give you. So because I've used it before. Now look at it. We are looking for where we can find maybe 1% error or 1% empty. Yeah, there's no empty. I swear there is no empty here. Department is no empty. I swear promotion last year, no MC, no error, no error, and so on like that. So we can easily see that this data set is ready to go for now, because you might want to look at some other things in the long run, because this is an attrition rate. This is an attrition. You can solve a lot of things on attrition. I think I have a visualization on this before. So you can do a lot on this part, because department side. So look at this part. I think this salary is divided into 3 sections. We have the high, low, and medium salary. And you have the department as well. We have the department. You see, we have the technical. We have the accounting. See, there's a none. Sometimes you need to also check. There's a none. That means probably that department was not recorded. We have the HR, research and development department, the support department, and so on. So from here, we don't know what is the none doing here. So we can remove it so as to give us a perfect fit of what we are looking for. So we have all of this. Now, once you are done, or maybe you have done through 1 or 2 adjustments on your work, you can also check maybe there's a blank space on every of your work. You can check blank space, maybe there's a blank, but this data set is already clean. So also you can check for those of us who are not novice in the data world, you understand that we can also do what we call DX on this data set. Once you have, because of you might want to add more column, add some information to it, and you get. So we have everything is there already. So let's close and apply. So this is the one I opened. So maybe it wants me to clean the data. So I don't know what is happening, but let's wait for the system to load it out. So you already don't know this thing. You are waiting for the system Power BI to load out what we have done, because I think it's fighting with the other data set. So they are agreeing on something. Now, what I just showed you is that visualization is very important. You must be ready to show something, like be convinced. Make sure you are convinced that, okay, what am I giving out? Am I also convinced of what the person will be saying from here? Indeed, you might not see everything, but you must be ready to be what? To convince yourself whenever you are bringing out anything. I don't know if this thing is ready to view. Is it loading? Okay. Please, can anyone tell me what you can see on the screen? Is it what can you see on your screen, please? On the other side, so I will know. Can anyone just tell me what you can see on each of our screen on the other side, so I will know what I'm expecting from this system? Because I'm expected the system to give me the other parts, which we just clean now. Anybody? Can anyone tell me what you can see on the screen?
Does it mean like anything we can see?
Like what can you see on your screen right now? I want to be sure of something because we loaded a data set now and it's not coming up. I want to know.
Yes, what I'm saying is there are pending changes in your fields that haven't been applied.
Okay. All right, thank you so much. There's a network, there's a issue with the Power BI right now. So let me start sharing. Let's see what happened. And so let me share. So we'll be sure of what is happening. So we close the Power BI. Let's see. Nothing is changing right now. So the data sets are sent to the group today, yesterday. This data set I sent to the group. I'm just trying to bounce from the Power BI and bounce back towards the Excel sheet. So I'm coming. Let me make sure the Excel sheet is right before I switch to this part. To the Power BI sheet is right. So it will give us what we were expected from. Just let me just close this. My Power BI. What's wrong with my Power BI? Come in. You don't want to close. Okay. All right. Let's continue. The thing is, I think the way we loaded the data set, the large data set is affecting the Power BI desktop. So they are finding it difficult to round themselves off. So instead of us wasting our time, let's just proceed with the class with something else. Now, what I showed so earlier is that in Power BI, you can have a visualization and it will pass the whole of the message of what you are expecting, what you are being expected to do. Because oftentimes, pictures speak more louder. So I think someone said something that when you see, you tend to remember on time. And if you relate that into data analysis work, it means that you need what to be very good at what visualization as a data first skills. But the best skills you need is to be good at what? Is to be good at what's it called? Data cleaning. Data cleaning is so powerful. It's the hardest job with data analysis. How well can you clean the data set? How well can you clean the data set? It's the hardest job so far. How well can you clean the data set? Because company won't make it easy for us. Company cannot make it easy. Because company don't have time for all that kind of thing. You just want to make sure that you shall give them reports, give them stories they can bank on. That's what company wants. So they are expecting you that please They won't do, they won't, I'm just using my word. Please. This data set, like what they gave me now, they gave me the data set that belongs to UK e-commerce. What are they checking on that e-commerce? They're checking their trend so far and what they have been doing. So company might want to take one or two things from analyzing that company data they got from somewhere or someone gave them. So now I think we are back. Let me just, so this is where it all matters. How do you clean the data set? That question is hard. How do you clean data set? Now, this is it. Let me share back my screen. The network today is somehow. So this is a what's it called? Power BI desktop. I've closed to one already. So let me just get data again. Let's get data again. From the same, from Excel workbook. Just trying to show people. So I'm picking the employee attrition again. So it is coming through loading. So on the screen, it's saying that no item selected for preview. So it is until you click on the words, until you check the box. Once you check the box, the information will come. So once you check the box, the information will come. Now, the information will give you three options: load, transform data, or cancel. Like I said, 4 principles of the data analysis on a Power BI is to transform data first. Check the qualities of the data. That's the first principle. You check you check the quality of data, which is what is on the top here. And sometimes the quality this is a computer, and sometimes it is not a robot. You have to know if there's anything wrong with the data set. So no, I think the data set is 100% valid, 100% valid, and so on. And sometimes they might be known in the data set. If there's empty, it should have given you, but they didn't give us the none in this one as any category. There's no category of none. It's only error and empty. So the error and empty does not I don't think it's not accounting for none. Blank can also be part of empty percentage, because for now we have zeros and so on. The reason why we are checking all this is because so as when you are making your conclusion, you will know that your conclusion are actually right. There's no errors. There are no errors in this thing. So we want to be sure that there are no errors in this thing. So that's why we are having all this ceremony. Now, when you close and load, when you close and apply. So we are waiting for Power BI to load it out, and it's saying apply changes. I don't know. So it's saying there's something you have not done. There are pending changes in your queries that have not been applied. So that is so it's coming through now. So it's creating everything for you. You are waiting. Now it has loaded. So it's telling us that it's ready. You can see now what happened. what happened now is that for those of us who are just a novice in data analyst world, it's a build visual with your data. Build visuals with your data. Saying the data that is ready now. Is ready. If you pick any visualization here, look at it. Employee attrition has been loaded to the Power BI desktop. So if you do the drop down, you will see the available data, available variables here. So I can do anything. Okay, let me pick a bar chart. Now you see a bar chart is on the screen. Then I pick a department to be on the category side. Then I pick the salary of the. I want to check the salary of the department and their salary. So now I'm coming. There's something is not doing right for me. Now, look at it. Ordinarily, it shows that say department is getting more salary than take out the lowest department that is getting salary is a what? Is a management department. You can even change the count salary to sum. Since okay, the salary, let's say count the people, the salary is not in what? It's not numeric. Okay. Now you can also do something else and say you want to check. This is about checking. We are checking now. So we want to check. We are checking. Okay. We are done with this. Let's pick out another thing. So you want to look at the number of staff they probably have in this department, or the number of department they have with the card. Picking the card. So we still want to know the number of department they have here in this company. So now there's something called, you can see now, when you click the number of department they have, it's showing just first department, accounting. No, there's always a drop down at this point. We have the count. We want you to count everything regardless of. We want to count distance. We use the count distance mostly when you are counting a particular department. We want to count maybe, let's say, for example, now this department has different kinds of department, HR, MR, R&D, marketing, and so on. You get. So we want to know how many departments you have, exact number of the department we have. Without any maybe some maybe in the data set, HR can appear maybe twice. So count distance means you are counting distance. That means you are counting uniquely. Like in Excel, there's what called unique function. So in Power BI use distance. So we count distance. When you click on count distance, you see it's telling us that we have 11 departments in this company. We have 11 departments in this company. I'm just doing this. All this one, I can't do this. I would have done it another way and that will be more beautiful than this. So I'm just trying to check. Now, this is count distance, and I have 11 departments. So if you go to the top and confirm if it is truly there are 11 departments, let's check. We want to be sure if what we are given is correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's one more department. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 11 departments. Let's go to the table view. So we want to look at the number of departments we have here. Department. So The reason, now let me tell you something. The reason why we have to do count this thing, you can see that sales department repeated like countless of times. So when you want to get the exact number, you want to know, you have to know the exact instead of doing count. If you use count, you will see that once you change that into count, instead of count distance, you will know the number of people that are in that. You will see that what I'm doing, what I did was actually needed. So you can see, you see why Excel is bringing out 11, Power BI is bringing out 11. Can anybody see my screen? What can you see in this plate that the console is showing? What can you see? Anybody?
Blank.
Blank. Thank
Very
you.
bad.
Thank you so much. Now, the blank, you can see that in the blank, it is what's, you see that when you visualize the blank on the power, what's it called? On the bar chart, it was not showing the blank for us because it said the blank doesn't have any value. But when you count the departments distinctly, what it's saying is that there's 11 departments I can see here. That's what Power BI says. There's 11 departments I can see here. And that's why he brought us 11 for us. But normally, the department should be 10. But this to he needs to count because that was the command we give Power BI is that do count for us distantly. And when you count that you find out that there's in one particular number something that is giving us you get another blank. That's why sometimes you need to, you can see now, if I remove this now and say, okay, remove, I don't want you for now because I'm not guessing what I needed. I go to the department and I remove the blank and I say, okay. And I go back to my report view and said, why are they just coming now? So now we move to, let's go back and check our department now. Take the card again. Let's take the card and take departments again. Remember, we are changing the departments to count the instant. Wants to count. Is it showing 11? Now, why is it now? It's showing 11 still because we loaded it like that. So that's where you have to go back to transform data. You have to transform data. So you have to escape from this 11. Because as analysts here, we'll be giving, we will misinform people because you are counting the department of 11. But yeah, the information we are getting from here alone is 10. There's nothing like known or blank departments here. It is 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now the issue continues. That means you have to consult by going back. And okay, I'm not loading you now. I have to go back to transform data. To transform the data. So since you have found the issues, you have noted the issue somewhere, you have to go back and say, okay, departments, I'm removing the blanks. So we are removing the blanks. Then okay. So we close and apply. Let's wait a little bit for Power BI to load. So I think he has done his work. Is he loading? That's Power BI for you. Okay, you say he has done loading it. It's working now. So now, let's now go back to, let's see if we are free from the error. No. Give us a card. Okay, good. Now, number of departments. You're giving us count this. You see now. Now, please, what can you see now?
It's now showing 10 departments.
10 departments. Thank you. So Can anyone, do anybody have questions on what I did so that in order for me to have what I actually needed? Can anybody maybe briefly just tell us some of the two things you got from those, what happened, what I did, and what really what happened afterwards? Anybody? Please, we are learning together, please. Forget the fact that I'm the one talking. You can also learn from you. Anybody that want to try, can you just give us a brief, okay, so when you are doing this, or when you are doing that, though, I get that this happened, this is what you did, and this is how you did. Because this is very important. This is like more power query in Excel. So if you go to Excel, so we'll be able to do something like this. But just as Excel, here we are visualization completely. Anybody? Who want to try? Yeah, now, are you telling me that I'm just working on my own things? Nobody's getting me.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. You can tell us your name a little. Thank you.
My name is Naya.
All right.
Okay. From what I gathered, when
Okay.
you click on count system, it's more like
Yes.
even if you have multiple sales term, as in the
Yeah.
word sales,
Yeah.
you just want to represent all of them.
Okay. Yeah. Sales, just one. Instead of having 10,000 sales, you have just one sales. Yes. Thank you.
Yes, and I also feel like this card and bar chart card is more like a comparison. So if you're using multiple visualizations and one is different, you actually
Okay.
go to the transform data. But the transform data is what I don't really understand.
Okay. Transform data. That's noted. Transform data. Okay. That's why I say you should talk. Thank you for talking. Thank you, Naya. Transform data is not what I really don't understand. Noted. Another person. Thank you so much. Let the man talk now. I thought they say, okay, I say ladies first. Okay, ladies has come first. Can we have a guy now? Can we have a guy? Guy, don't form my hand. Hey, Joe, you can go ahead. You can go ahead. I can see you raising up on.
Okay, that part that has to do with transform data, I think you
Yes.
do this so that to ensure that there's no error in the
Yes,
data.
exactly. Yes.
Like
Yes.
when you were doing that, we noticed that there was 100% validity, 0% error, and 0% empty data set. So in transforming the data, it helps you to ensure that there's no error in your data before you now carry it to your Power BI.
Yes. Now I'm actually on the Power BI. What I'm doing here is that I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to be this is this is computer. It can fail sometimes. Thank God you said something now. You said I showed you that this thing 100% free from error and stuff like that. But in the long run, it's showing us something more or less of an error. So in some cases, you need to individually view some data set that you want to use. Sometimes you might not be using the whole variables, but those blank unknown might not be recognized by. Now, let me use that advantage to go back to what Naya said. He said she doesn't understand what the transfer data means. Naya
Yeah.
and others. So one thing is this: when we look at the data set, before you bring the data set into the Power BI, you first principle I gave is that you transform the data first. Why you transforming data? So you understand that okay, my data set is 100% valid. That means 100% valid means it's free from error and empty. Subjectively, it's subject. Then you can other way check it and be what? And also you have to be open-minded when you are analyzing. Now imagine I can just go ahead and say, okay, yeah, it's 10. I didn't even count, maybe this department is even 10. Maybe I don't even care. I don't say, okay, this is giving me what I want. I move on. And I say count department. How many departments do you have here? Number of departments we have here is 10. 11. Initially it was 11. So I can move on. But it's not working that way. What is working here is that you notice that there's an error. This is 10 departments here, and you are counting department to be 11. If as a owner or the business person that you are sending the information to, find out that the department you have in this company is just 10. Why are you giving us number of department to be 11? When did this analyst got that department for us from? You get, it might be like, you can't analyze this again. So, another one, I noticed that there's an error. And when I go to my table view, I found the error that this department is having something called none in this department. So, because I've cleaned it, the data outside, there's no none again. So I've removed it. I've done it. Now, if I clear off Vita now, let me clear all the filter we have here on this data set. Now, let me go back to my table view so I can use it to explain to you again. Now, let me take my card. Sorry, let me minimize this bar chart. So I'm taking what again? Department. So count distance. Is it 10? Okay. No, is this showing us 10 because I've transformed the data. Now, look at it. On the screen, it says use the Power Query Editor to connect, prepare, and transform data. When I got here, let me go back. Since I found the error by the use of visualization, you can see most of the thing here that 100%, 100% valid, 100% valid, 100% valid. Even up to the salary that I have, even up to the department that we later found an issue there, is this showing us 100% valid and correct? So in this sense, what I did here is to remove the none. Look at this. I unchecked it. If I checked back this none and load it, let's assume that I checked this none now and load it. Watch the game. Be watching the game. Or I cancel the filter rows. I can even remove the rows. Yes, let me remove the filter row. That will even help me fast. I just remove the filter rows and say, so okay, good. I'm in the right part. Remove the filter. Oh, so now I wait. Let the Power BI load. We are waiting for it. Let's see. So it's loading. So it has loaded. What happened to the whole department now? Now
It's not 11.
it's now 11. So you
Yeah.
see, that's Power BI is so powerful and so sensitive to many changes. So transform data is that you are going there to make sure that everything you are doing is sure is free from error. So you know that okay, oh, maybe there's an error from the debug, from the way the data set is coming from, not the data set given to you. So Power BI will recognize everything. We recognize it only if you do it diligently and you calm on every analysis you are doing. Now, it came back to 11. But since we know where our error is coming from, that what is wrong with it? No, before we detect this error, I play along with all of you and say, now we're having 10 here, we're having 11 here. What do we do? What's the problem coming from? We found out that the problem is from the department. And the department, because due to what? Why is it giving us 11 departments when we have 10 departments? By what the salary by department is showing up there. We divide. So once you know those things, you will not have any, just go back to transform data. I want to remove this thing. So I can to give my 10 back. So now I'm back to transform data. Let me even explain it a little bit. What is transform data is giving? It's a Power Query Editor. Anything you want to do, even DAS. I don't know if you heard about DAS before. DAS, DS, for some of us that are not novice in this data analysis field. There's what called DAS. DAS, it is what data analysis expression, where you add column to this, add that to this, manipulate data and so on. So we clean the data set. On most time we use this Power Query to clean data set. That's what the summary of everything you are doing here. Now we know where we are going to. We are going to the department. That's please. We want to remove the none. See it. Check. Once I remove this, you see what I remove none and I press OK. Be looking at the apply steps that is showing here. Now we are having source, navigators, navigations, permitted headers, chain type. Be looking. Once I remove this and I press OK, see what will happen. You see, there's an addition of the steps. Say filtered rows. That means we have done something. So Power BI recognize every steps. Immediately I click OK there. If you check the words, the formula up here, it said each department. It said change type each department, removing the nodes. Then I said close and apply. So because we need to go back to our table. So he's applying it now. Very soon. The departments have to change to 10. And here we go. 10. I don't even do anything. All I did is to transfer, remove what is wrong, and it work on its own by itself immediately. So that is one side that is very important in Power BI, and even in Excel, whatever you are analyzing, whatever you are doing visualization data, and it's interesting because it's always very, very beautiful when you are doing all of this. We can even let's use Power BI, let's use pie charts to look for this what's it called? Department by salary. It's 10 now. It should show it. So let's look at another thing. Time spent. Time spent by company. Promotion. Let's say department. Let's say salary. Let's say okay. We are looking at departments and the highest number of promotions. The highest number of promotions. See, you are looking at department with no high number of promotions. You see sales. The sales department has the highest number of promotions in the last 5 years. So promotion in the last 5 years, sales, management, marketing, the lowest is IT department. Even the product management department doesn't have any promotion in the last 5 years. Now, these are the big questions they will ask you. Okay, this might be, what's the reason why? Can anybody just guess? Why is it? Why the department? These are the important part of the course of analysis. Now, why is this production management department doesn't have any promotion in the last 5 years? Can anybody guess why? Can just guess? Let me see my scholars here. Oh yeah. Why? Can anybody guess? Yeah, now let's talk. We are learning together, please. Can you guess why? Why is production management is not having anything? It's not having any promotion in the last 5 years, based on what you see on the screen. Anybody? Now let's talk now. If you don't know, it's an important session of an analyst though. What do you think is making that department doesn't have any promotion in the last 5 years? What might be the reasons? You are not wrong, you're not correct. We are not flogging anybody here. We are all online. It is an online class. I can't flog, I can't say anything. I just want it to be interactive. Oh yeah, anybody who's talking? Naya, Godwin, Mr. Manuel, Juliet. Who is going now, please? Should I kneel down online and beg people? Let's talk. We need to talk something. We need to say it. As you're not okay, let's say based on your own idea, what do you think was making that department not have any promotion in the last 5 years? Oh yeah, now don't disappoint me.
Okay.
Thank you, Juliet.
From the charts that you presented now, it's
Yes, sir.
obvious
Yes,
that
sir.
the production management has the least input in the department
Okay.
there. So I can see, hold on.
Okay.
Production management, it has the least input in the charts there, followed
Yes.
by the accounting, which I feel is the most important sector in the business or in the management of the company.
Okay.
That's the least I can say from what I'm seeing there now.
All right. Thank you so much for that input. Thank you so much. Another person. I want the class must be balanced. Now the male. The male. I want the male to speak now. The male. Nobody want to talk from the male side. Mr. Vito, are you not saying anything? Can you hear me, Mr. Vito? I like to call names, please. Mr. Godwin, Mr. Emmanuel. Are you guys not saying anything? Okay. See the male know how to talk. Let me represent them by saying this. Now, based on what Ms. Julius said, production management might be at the time of, that you are wrong, you are correct. They have the lowest input at that period. It might be that, and for there must be reasons. Production management might be under the accounting department or state department before. Might be under one of the departments before it was removed from one part. It might be that this is the year of its exception. If that's why the information, that's why they gather the data from them. It might be that this is the year of exception before, so there won't be. So it's the last 5 years. And it might be that the duration of production management department might be just 2 years or 3 years. So now this analysis is for 5 years. In the last 5 years, what was the promotion? It might be that the department has just been accepted into the business firm, into the organization. So it's not yet starting fully, or just, the way you born a new baby, you can't expect the new baby to be working on immediately. That's just the summary for my own hand. So it might be that they just form it or call it out from a sales department. Now, but my own boys concerned in this analysis that the IT department is the second least department that have promotion in the last 5 years. The IT, that's left to the company to judge. So, but the major issue here is production management. The product management might be that they are under sales already. They now divided it into something. Now, another important thing we can look here is that there's a work accident. We want to check the work accident based on a department, because these are a very important section of the work. What is happening to the department? What is happening? Is there any accident so far? So we can look at it this way and say, okay, department, and look at the work of accident. So I think let's use a better graph so I can give us better thing we need. So the department, the number of accidents they have so far. Now, you see it. As expected, we are expecting the sales department to have higher rate of what? Probability of accidents. Because why? Because based on salary, the Department of Sales has the highest. Based on promotion in the last 5 years, the Department of Sales have the highest. Now, look at this. Based on the work, sum of work accidents by department, the Department of Sales also have the highest. Now, IT unit also have the what's also followed by technical unit, support unit, support department. Now you can see product management as equivalent for equivalence accidents with R&D. So these are the important sketch. You see, with all of these things, you are already an analyst. You are already doing your analyst job. Who's coming by this time? Sorry, class. So with all of this, we are already doing your job. Like your job is coming through. Since we have understood all these things, doing the same thing with what I did earlier, what I showed you earlier, we'll just look at it. All of this I did here would just be a free. I have done my words aside it behind the scene before I show you this. I've done it. I can open through data sets what happened on the data set. I've done it. So that is what I have on the Power BI today. I want to prove that we can also be as experts as this thing you are seeing on the screen. This is just your rough work. Like they say, okay, this is what I'm doing behind the scene. Now, once I understood everything I'm expected, you can also look at the number of employees. You know, want to look at the number of possible employee in the company. Yes, you can't. Looking at taking our card and bringing out the employee ID because like I said, you need to be very, very, very well incentive. Like you think deep and say, okay, how can I get the number of employee in this data set they sent to me? Number for them to have employed me, you, this person, your friend, there will be an ID card. Maybe they give us an ID. So that means that ID belongs to some particular to many staffs. So every staff have their ID, their numbers. So that ID card, if you count the number of IDs they have, you determine the number of what staff they have, if I'm correct. So which we will look at IDs. See, we don't want IDs to be count of employee ID. We don't want it to be just count. So you can say, okay, yeah, we can even use this 14,000.999. That means like 15K, 50,000 staffs. Yes, I don't think they can repeat that. That should be 15,000 staffs. If you can't count this state because I don't think they can repeat that. See it. It's the same thing. So I want to get the right figure. I want to get the figure for this, the right figure for this. I will go to, let me go to, I think call out. Yeah. I want to get the right figure for this and check thousands. Or let me use custom instead. Okay. So we have 14,999 staffs. 14,999 staffs in that company. So, and if you use this thing against the departments, you also get some good information. So there's a lot of information we can get. Just narrow it down to what you want the company to see and what is important for the company to see for the year ended or for the middle or for semi-annual of the year, mid of the year or quarter and so on. So any question for me? Because as I've fed this class will be end by in 1 hour. So So we can go because it's first period already. Any question for me so far? Any question, please? Any question?
Hi.
All right. Good evening.
Good evening.
Uh,
I'm Juliet.
yeah,
So,
sure.
okay, when you were doing at the stage of this transformation of the file, okay,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
said something about identifying error, okay,
yes,
where we had where we had the different departments, and it was showing that it has 11 departments, why it is actually 10 in number.
yeah,
So my
yes.
question now comes in: how can one easily identify an error aside it's indicating 100% and 0% error? How can one easily identify error?
All right,
Because
thank you.
there, okay, thank you.
Can continue. I think you have more to say. Sorry for
Yeah,
continuing.
okay, because under the department, it has null
Yeah,
as part of the department. Okay, there we can easily identify that
yeah,
this is an error. Okay,
yes,
so
okay.
you were using this as an example. So how can one easily identify error
All
in
right, thank you.
other information or
Yes,
that the person has?
all right. Now, the thing is, your question is very, very brilliant. One thing is this, and one thing is sure. When you are analyzing the data, you don't just jump to data sets. Like I said, you can see that what I'm showing you now, I said something about my own self. This work I was given is good to see. You can see you are seeing it like, wow, someone that will see that say, wow, this thing is cool. You haven't make so this thing doesn't happen overnight. I did my own work. How did I do my own work? I was checking the data sets one by one. Like I picked the important one that I needed first. Don't get me wrong. I go to this is the table view. This is what we are looking at. So I look at these things. These are the drop downs already. One thing Power BI do for us is this. Power BI will always put the errors at the top of your what? At the top of every data set. Like he arranged the error first at the top. If you remember when we were looking for the department error, what Power BI did is what? Is to place the blanks at the top here, even before the accounting. That's what Power BI did. Power BI puts this at the top. So when you can even check, okay, since I want to use, hey, in the future I may be using data work as like what I use now. I check it. I see that there's no errors. Even confirming that there was 100% validity on transform data. As it checks some of the data, I use time. I was taking my time to. If I'm doing normal analysis, I won't be doing this. I won't be so fast about it. I will do it one after the other, looking at the data that I needed in the nearest when I'm about to conclude. Once I noted them down, those variables rather that I needed, what I do, I check them because Power BI usually put those things at the top here, blanks, error. It will help me to put it mostly at the top. But if the data set is not long, you can put it below it. But it's mostly at the top. You will surely find them top at the top here. So majorly, you finding none, like something like I found earlier, none, empty. You can easily do what? Let me take you back to transform data. So that's, I think, yeah. Let me go back to transform data. So that we can easily learn more. Now, this is where we are. We can easily look at any data set and say, okay, since you say you are free, let me even load more. Do you have blanks? You see, this one doesn't have blanks. But Isaiah can also do, you see this place, you can say remove empty space. Remove it. Isaiah will help you to remove it immediately. If it's possibly empty, it can place it. Sometimes I place it by remove empty of every data set I have. Removing every empties or every data set I have. You get. So you once you find them, you usually find, since I'm using, let me say, okay, average monthly hours that the workers used in the complaint. I loaded it here. I look at it and see that, okay, no, it says not put it at the top. I can do, okay, let me just place save and say remove what? Empty. If possible, there's empty. Can remove empty. So errors can be detected based on maybe those variables are your important variable that you needed to use for analysis. Since you have done your what? Your what's it called? Your like now, no, these are your raw fork now. From your raw fork, you detect department that this is showing level, this is showing 10. So when you have find all these things, gather them with your jotters already. When you want to give them what you want to give them, your body corrected every errors. So I think you can detect this by transform data, checking the major data sets variables you want to use, first of all. And you can also detect it by doing the raw fork we started with in this session today. You can also do that. So it is depend on how the thing favors you in the way it favors, the way you understand it, the way it suits you. Me, I like doing this in both sides. And sometimes I may not do it in both sides. I can just do my data work, my own background work, and I'm good. So that's it. Have I answered your question, please? Hello, Miss Julia. Have I answered your question? It's not on the call. So, any other question because we need to close this class now. And I would like to appreciate everyone who has joined in. And we will go back to the video very soon. So we have learned one or two things already. And I'm happy that people make it sure that they are on the call, even in the first and the second. I don't know. Ms. Juliet is still on hold. So, do you have anybody that have any other thing to say before we call it a day?
Excuse me, sir.
All
My
right.
question is already based on what was taught today.
Okay, no problem. It's fine. All right.
Okay, like the book says, doing the data analysis. So I don't know how to go about downloading or getting this Power BI on my system.
Power BI
I
on
don't know
your
how
system.
yes, I don't know how it
Can
works. I was not able to
you know what to do is that Power BI is very simple to get. You can just go online and search for Power BI desktop on your Google. It will bring it up and you download. That is very simple. But for Microsoft 365, that's why I don't want to use it today. This is why I switched my intention is that my Microsoft 365 is more advanced and it might not be related. Some of us are 2016, 2019, probably latest 2019, and probably few of us are 2021. And Microsoft 365 is very, very powerful. So I'm looking at the way I will get it across to everybody, and everybody will get it on the system. But Power BI desktop, you can get it online. Just search Google now. Power BI desktop, you'll get it on your system. Just have data, that's all.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. I know. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a good Christmas. Mr. Dre, you are not saying anything.
Thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
So you are welcome.